I was out there twerking to Natti Natasha.
Say that on camera.
Oh my God, and she...
Oh, I didn't even realize we were like starting.
We are filming.
Sorry. I don't know where I went.
I feel like when I was coming out and coming into my own, this woman's lyrics were there to help me become the baddie that I wanted to be.
Aww.
And she just embodied this. So I'm happy to have this wonderful artist on Fiddle Talk today. But before that, I'm Alex.
I'm Carolina.
And I'm Monica.
And we are happy to introduce that we have Natti Natasha in the house today.
Yay.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
No, thank you guys. Thank you.
We're so excited to speak with you. New album is coming. First of all, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling amazing, which is great. Very happy to see you guys. I love the colors over there. I'm in New York, so I'm definitely feeling amazing. The city, the vibe, it's the summer. I'm feeling great.
I mean, we talked about you being a new mom. How has motherhood inspired your music?
This album is more about an amargue, in your feelings music, you know, like when you're passionately in love or when you have a horrible breakup. It's like the real passionate feelings that you get with everything, not caring how you say it. So definitely that's the type of album. But I feel like being a mom has like empowered me in every single aspect. Going out there more, having a lot more faith in me and what I'm doing, feeling way more powerful, sexy, being able to do, not being afraid of anything. You know that sometimes when you're working on something, on a project, sometimes you question or you say like, is this the right route or is this? And I feel like being a mom doesn't really allow you to have any fear because you have one focus, one goal, and it's adelantar, and it's like you feel successful in every single aspect. It doesn't matter if it worked out or if it didn't. Personally, I always find like a reason, like, well, if this didn't work out the way I was expecting it for it to work out, it worked out in a better way because I got these other opportunities. Or I feel like it's a different perspective, and my music in general, it's been influential in that way. No fear, and literally just speaking of the things that I really want to speak about with no filters, and definitely knowing how other women out there are feeling that are moms, that are not moms, that are experiencing different things in life. Being a voice for those women, have been given the opportunity of como de pasar por tantas cosas diferentes. I feel like it's my duty to be that voice for other women.
Yeah, I love that you said that motherhood has kind of made you feel sexy, because I feel like that's misogynistically people automatically like, well, you're a mom now, so like that's not even a part of your vocabulary anymore. So I love that you said that. And I was wondering also, who has been your biggest support system throughout all of this?
My biggest support system has been my family, mi equipo de trabajo, my team. I feel like we all find the schedule, we all find the moment. Everything works out that way. You know, you need an army. And in general, in your personal life, in your work life, I feel like that's the balance that people don't see. You know, what happens behind the scenes, having the opportunity of taking care of my child and being successful and everything else. I feel like it definitely takes an army. Not only me being in the entertainment world, but I feel like for any woman out there, it's very important to have that support system.
And I wanted to ask about your experience moving from the DR to New York.
It was interesting because in Dominican Republic, you have your whole family, you're going to college, everything is like planned. This is what you're supposed to do. This is, the course that this is supposed to take. And I feel like I broke that, and I said, I'm definitely studying industrial engineering and all that stuff, but I decided to this is what I want to do. I at least want to have the opportunity of saying I tried. I went to New York and I didn't have I had a place to stay with my best friend, but obviously, things change, and it was hard, but then again, I had nothing to lose, and I was in this huge city, so full of opportunities that to me, it was an adventure. I saw it as an adventure. I saw it as something fun. I saw myself challenging myself, and I didn't mind because I was very, very specific. Like, I knew what I wanted. I didn't know exactly how I was gonna get there, but I worked for that. And New York for me, which is the place, how you say, like, when you're in Dominican Republic, like when you say United States, is like, it's New York, you know, at that moment, like, that's the place of opportunities, obviously, because here we also have a huge Dominican community, you know, so you're away from home, but you get to share, you get to be around your same culture. So I feel like it also felt like home in a way.
Ingeniería industrial? That's what you were gonna be studying?
Very different.
I love numbers because my father, he's a math teacher, calculus, physics. So he did teach me since I was a little girl, like, to first, you know, how to understand it and how to, like, apply it. So I liked it. It was a fun moment, but I obviously encourage everyone, you know, if you want to study that, if you want to study anything in life, it's very good. And it's very important to be prepared for life. I just personally knew that I didn't want to do that. You know, I didn't want to stay in a place where there were no opportunities for what I wanted to do, which was singing, which was the entertainment world. So I decided to leave because of that. But definitely industrial engineering was fun.
Can you talk about, like, the moment when you told your family, like, I'm actually going to change course and do something else?
It was some off time from college. Like, I had just finished, like, a semester. I was like, I'm gonna go for a week, you know, and then it just became, like, longer and longer and longer and longer, but I did it. Anyways, when I decided to go to New York, I wasn't living in my parents' house anymore. I started moving around fast. I was like, I can't wait that much for this, because when you know what you want, you have to really, really trust yourself to be able to give those big steps, even if it's scary and all that. But
well, we do love to ask people also about, like, where they're from and being proud of the countries they're from. So can you tell us, like, what's your favorite thing about being Dominican?
just a very positive country, culture, people. There's always food for everyone. Our music. One thing that helped me when I got to New York, and one of the reasons why I'm so proud and feel like this is some kind of something surreal, like being able to do like a bachata project, is because when I went to New York the first time and I was able to be around other Dominicans and Latinos in general, music is something that always brings us Dominicanos together. You are able to feel like home when you go to Dykeman, when you go anywhere and bachata comes in, everybody comes together. So that's when I noticed, I was like, wow, I'm not home, but music made me feel like home and made me feel like I was everyone's friends. So, that is something very important to me, to also, like, to all the people that do come to New York or the United States in general, like, why I'm so proud of making this project.
You mentioned right now your album. What should we be expecting from this new album?
This album, like I said, is Natti Natasha Amargue. Is an album that is written and produced by Romeo Santos, the man himself, someone that I've always admired and that I never in a million years would have imagined that I would have been sitting in a studio, seeing him create, getting inspired by my relationship, my personal relationship, getting inspired by other people, by different situations. I always said, if one day I have the opportunity of doing a project like that, it's going to give me, as a Latina, as a Dominicana, the opportunity of taking my culture, taking my roots around the world. And I feel like there's no bigger satisfaction than that one. Being able to represent myself has no price. Being able to represent my culture, my people, I think it's something that you're going to feel, that you're going to listen to, that you're going to dance to. The lyrics are very real, very profound, and it talks about so many different situations, all very passionate, and a lot of dancing, a lot of flavor.
Are you ever afraid to put some of those feelings out there and be like, okay, the world is gonna judge them or hear this? Or at this point in your career, are you kind of like, you know what, let them hear it. It's a song, let them dance to it.
I really don't mind. I feel like the ones that are more afraid of are not even the ones that I was adventurous about moments in my life. It's been more of the sad moments in my life that I decide to make positive through my music, you know? And when I get the opportunity of singing live for my fans about, you know, these songs or about that moment in my life, I think those are the more touchy ones. But definitely, I feel like at this point, that's what connects me with my fans, with everyone listening, with the new people that I haven't had the opportunity of listening to me, to like connect through my songs because they're real and not necessarily personal about my life, but of everything that happens around me. And I feel like that's the way, to me, that's the way of expressing myself.
Is there any genres that you've been curious to explore that, you know, that you love that people maybe not know about?
Listen, I listen to absolutely everything. I have a space of like 4 songs throughout the day of each genre. I do salsa, obviously bachata, uno que otro bolero, hip hop, R&B for sure, Brazilian music, EDM, and I've had the opportunity of collaborating with David Guetta, Dimitri and like Mike that actually released not that long ago. I think music is about that. It's about just like feeling that moment. And I feel like, I don't know, it's just, you feel so free. So I definitely listen to a lot of things. And having the opportunity of collaborating with someone like David Guetta, Dimitri, and like Mike, who are so well known in the EDM world, in the house, it to me is an honor because I'm reaching out to like this whole other crowd that probably doesn't know Natti Natasha and is getting to hear me and collaborating with them. So to me, it's the same thing. I discover a whole new world when I get into like doing these type of songs, these other type of genres. So there's a lot coming out soon, but definitely bachata right now is like is that passion.
So I wanted to ask you if there's an artist out there that you haven't collaborated with that you would love to collaborate with, who would that be?
Obviously Drake.
Okay.
Oh,
He's freaking amazing for sure. Megan Thee Stallion.
oh my
Wait,
God.
I would literally die for that collaboration.
That would be so hot. I would be, just looking at her twerk all the time. She's freaking amazing. She's very, very talented and she eats up the stages. Like I see her and I'm like, wow. So I would definitely like to collaborate with them. Out in the universe, out there.
We're manifesting now with Natti Natasha. All right, so we have come to the part of the conversation where we're asking the audience for advice. You sent us requests for Natti Natasha. So we have Maria from Los Angeles who is saying, hi Maria, how are you? And her question is on advice. She says, how do I get over someone who I was really in love with? I have been trying to get over it, but it's been taking me some time. Natti, how would you answer this question?
Listen, whenever you see me getting too glammed up, it's because I'm not feeling well. So that's the first thing I do. I'm like, I don't care if I'm not going out. I'm gonna do it, because I feel like pampering yourself, obviously that's something physical. But I feel like when you understand that you feel a little bit better once you start like loving yourself a little bit, like pampering yourself instead of pampering everybody around you, you start feeling better. So that's when you start understanding, okay, so I need to pay attention to myself a little bit more instead of, not in a selfish way, but you have to treat yourself good for your health, to be able to be happy for everyone else. To me, working on the projects that I want, on the things that I want to accomplish, always worked for me. Not that I went through too many breakups, I'm not saying that, but definitely we've all gone through heartbreaks, and my way was always that, like challenging myself and focusing on the things that I wanted to accomplish, because then you analyze yourself and you work on the stuff that you wanted to do and you had left behind because you were paying attention to someone so much. Because if you're with someone, you have to understand it's a balance. It's not about a guy and a girl that, oh, the guy is supposed to do this, the girl is supposed to. No, you balance each other, and you don't change the other person because you don't want the person to change you, but you balance it out in a good way, you know? So focusing on yourself, even if you're thinking about that person too much, just start working on the projects, and little by little with time, you start getting better and pampering yourself more.
Okay, we've got another question from Luis. Both of my parents are immigrants, and when they came here, they had a very specific goal for me. How do I tell them that I don't want to follow the path they want for me and that I want to do something different?
You're supposed to break the mold. Like, that's what being creative is about. Like, that's your essence. That's who you are. So if it's in your head and it's breaking the mold, if you're not disrespecting anyone, if you're not hurting anyone, I feel like it's great. If it's creative, it's good. And that's the only outlet that a person has to be expressive. So believe in yourself, believe in your art, believe in the message that you're giving, because that's what people need. That's what they want to know, your essence, who you are by your creative side. If you're authentic and you're real about it, I feel like that definitely sends out a message, and people can feel that, you know? If it's real, it's gonna happen. Like, there's no way it doesn't.
Oh my gosh, I want to cry. I love that so much. That was so good. But thank you so much for your time. Now we'll start dancing.
We need a bachata day.
Yes.
Let's do it. So when does your album come out?
It comes out around October. So we are going to be all up in there having fun. I can't wait because I've been with that project for 3 years. And it's crazy how it's going to be released in an amazing time of my life, where going back to the roots and being myself is definitely what I want to be doing.
We cannot wait.
Thank you. Thank you guys for your time.
No, thank you so much for joining us today on Pero Talk. We had Natti Natasha here today. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next episode.